Hi, my name is Mel Collie and welcome to your Pilates routine for today. We're going to start in a seated position. So if you find it quite tricky to sit cross-legged, come into a kneeling position. Okay? Just be mindful of when you are in a seated or a kneeling position that you're equal on your sit bones. Those sit bones are the bony bits at the bottom of the pelvis. So being equal right and left. And just be mindful again of your tailbone, the very end of your spine. It goes into the sacrum and then goes into your tailbone. You must feel as if your tailbone is just lifting off the floor, as if it's just floating. Just notice what happens to the pelvis when you do that. So we're trying to keep equal pressure. So it almost feels as if where the floor is, you've got an equal line where the tailbone is and where the pelvic bone is. The tailbone feels as if it's just floating just slightly off the floor. Hip bones are equal on the right and left side. The collarbone is open and smiling. Then you've got all this space around you. Look how high the ceiling is. Lengthen through the crown of the head as if you're trying to reach for the sky. Then notice what happens to the spine when you do that. It lengthens and the muscles start to switch on all the way down your back. The ribs stay soft down towards your hips. Hands rest just on the knees and then bring the elbows in towards your waist. And just lift the chest from the heart as if you're lifting your heart up towards the ceiling. Bring the hands then in towards the chest, the nose in line with your fingers and the thumb just resting on your sternum, on your breastbone. We're going to take a deep breath in, soften the shoulders, and as you exhale we're going to turn to one side, keeping the nose in line with the fingers. Slowly come back to centre, and with the next breath turn to the other side. So we're going into a move called the spine twist. To work with your breathing, and as you turn from the rib cage. So it's almost as if you're bringing the opposite rib around to the other side. So the ribs are turning on top of the pelvis, and the pelvic bones stay equal right and left. Keep pushing the ceiling away with the crown of the head so you're not sinking into the floor. As you feel you can turn a little bit further each time, those ribs feel as if they can go a little bit more, but the lower back stays long. Being mindful that it doesn't become a head turning exercise, but the nose stays in line with the fingers, the thumbs resting on the sternum. The shoulders stay relaxed, we're not using the upper shoulders to lift us. Collarbone stays open and relaxed. One more on each side. And then we're going to come back to the centre, push the hands up towards the ceiling. Nice stretch and open and release. And then bring the arms back up and bring them back down. And again, push, lift and release. Coming back up, together and down. One more time, lift and open. Coming back up and releasing. Then we're going to come into the sitting position in the middle of the mat. So again, being equal on the sit bones, lifting the chest, hands just resting on the side of the thighs, having the ears above your shoulders and the shoulders above your hips. Now without moving your shoulders, take the hip bones away from the thighs and then bring them back up again. So just allowing the pelvis to tilt, so you're rocking off your sit bones and then you're coming back onto your sit bones. The pelvis just feels as if it's just being taken away and then coming back, so the shoulders don't move. And we're going to take it a little bit further. We're going to release the arms, but they can stay there if you want them to. And as you release the arms, if this is your chosen position, allow the elbows to feel as if they're drawing towards each other. Then tuck under again, so take the pelvis away from the thighs and take it away a little bit further and then a little bit further. The toes can lift, which is fine, but the heels stay down. And as you go further, don't let your chin drop. The head stays in the same position. Go as far as you can go, that you feel you can control the move, and then from your chest, come back up. Lifting the arms, elbows towards each other, dropping them back down and then rolling back again, the hip bones away from the thighs, allowing the tailbone to soften into the floor, and then slowly lifting back up. You've gone as far as you can go, lifting the arms back up to the ceiling and then rolling yourself back down so those elbows stay strong. Shoulders soften down your back. Lifting, and do 2 more. Hands can stay onto the thighs to assist you if you need to. Watching the knees stay in line with your hips. Last one. And then we're going to hold the hands back out in front, turn the palms upwards, and as you roll back, take one hand and take it behind you. Watch it go. Come back up, change sides. Now as you move that hand, try not to drop your chest or drop your chin so you're not collapsing in towards yourself. So we're turning again from the ribs. Allow the opposite rib to follow your hand. Nothing changes in the weight in your sit bones. The sit bones stay equal right and left as you move. So as you rotate to your right, your left hip stays down. And as you rotate to your left, your right hip stays down. Now if you find that your knees are falling towards each other, you can bring the feet and the knees together and squeeze them tight. Do 1 more on each side. And then we're going to come to the front of the mat, so you've got enough room behind you. And then we're going to a move called rolling like a ball, which is a bit of fun. And we're going to try and massage your lower back while we're doing this, so allowing the spine to sink into the mat as we go back. So we're going to hold onto the shins, lift the chest, and try and come into a balance as we pick the feet off the floor. Now similar to what we did just now, when we were sitting in this position and we took the pelvis back, that's how we're going to start the move. So the shoulders stay above the hips, lift the feet off the floor and allow the thighs to relax so they're not cramping or taking over. Let the femur sink back into the sockets. Drop the shoulders and let that collarbone smile. Okay, so as you hold your balance, you can feel you just rocked back slightly off your sit bones. Almost as if someone's pulling your navel through with a piece of string. Okay, so we're going to C-curve that spine, excuse me, and we're going to tuck under so the pelvis comes away from the legs. Drop those shoulders, look towards your knees, and we're going to take a deep breath in as we roll back onto our shoulders. And exhale as we come back up. Breathing in, exhale, and again breathing in, exhale. Look towards your knees, not towards the ceiling. We can do 10 of these. Keeping those abdominals strong. Trying to keep even on the spine as you roll. Relaxing the shoulders. This is your last one. And balance. Pull that right knee in. Lengthen the left leg. Roll yourself down onto your shoulder blades. Breathe in and switch. Exhale and switch. This is your one leg stretch. Breathe in and switch. The outside hand goes towards your ankle. Exhale and switch. Now, if I've got the head and shoulders lifted, if that's starting to ache in your neck, let your head rest. So about 5 to 10 repetitions. You work at your own pace. Keep the foot and the knee in line with your hip though, making sure they're not touching. Your tailbone stays heavy. Shoulders equal on the mat, so you're not leaning towards one side. Chest bone lifted. So when you've done about 5 to 10 repetitions, you're going to stay with the legs and start to twist into the crisscross. So the hands come behind the head. We turn towards the knee that's coming towards us with the ribs. Come back up, twist. The rib comes towards the knee. Now try and keep that elbow back And look towards your back elbow as you twist so that rib comes beyond the knee then and coming off your shoulder blades. Again, the feet and the knees stay in line with your hip bones. About 5 to 10 repetitions on each side. Keep smiling. The more you come off the shoulder blades, the more you're going to feel the work in your waist. Come back in, rock those knees from side to side. Place the hands on the floor, feet in a tabletop position. Think about where your tailbone is so it's heavy on the floor. Open up the shoulders, keep the shoulders on the floor and the head on the floor. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to pick the tailbone off the floor and go into reverse curl. Inhale as you come back, and exhale as you lift. Inhale as you come back. So try not to take the head off the floor. So all the movement's coming from the lower back. So you're tucking under and using the abdominals to press. Now feel as if your sit bones are going up towards the ceiling. Almost if you're about to do an imprint of your sit bones onto the ceiling. If you can go further, the legs can go all the way overhead. You can straighten the legs, but stay lifted in your waist. You're trying not to collapse. So the front of the body stays as long as the back of the body, and then you can roll yourself down. This is called the rollover. So it's just a little bit further, a little bit harder than going into the reverse curl. So if you're feeling a little bit tight in the lower back, just stay with that reverse curl. So again, 5 to 10 repetitions, whichever one you decided to do. And don't forget, you can always come back to this and challenge yourself each time, taking yourself out of your comfort zone, but always with your safety in mind. You can do one more. And we're going to use the roll to come back up. So as you come down, roll yourself up. Whew. Holding into that balance. See if you can just release the hands away from the legs and take the arms out to the side. How are you doing? Lovely. Bring the hands back in. Take the weight of the legs. Let them go. And then slowly take the hands away. And lift, see if you can lengthen the legs as well. Bring the legs back in, hold them there, or see if you can lift them again. See if you can do one more. Lovely. Keep that back long, keep the chest lifted. Hug those knees back in and release the feet to the floor. Come back into the middle of the mat, lengthen the legs out long. Hug one knee in towards your chest, take the foot across the other leg. And with the opposite elbow, hug the knee in towards your armpit. Use that to lift the chest. The same hand as the leg that's come across you goes behind you to lift the chest and to turn the body. So use that elbow to pull the knee in towards your armpit to get a lovely stretch on the outside of your thigh. And if you can, just gently turn the head a little bit further. Use that knee to press back into the elbow, just to create contraction. Take a deep breath in and exhale as you stop pressing, but bring the knee then closer in towards the armpit. Just creates more of a stretch on that hip. And then release, come back, change legs. Other knee comes in, take the foot across, wrap the opposite arm around so the knee comes in towards the armpit. The same arm as the leg that's over, that's bending, take it around you. Push it into the floor with a flat hand or fingertips. Don't forget the straight leg. Press the back of the knee into the floor. Keep it grounded. And the sit bones stay equal right and left, so you're pushing the sit bones into the floor. Don't let it lift. And then gently press that knee back into the elbow as if the knee's trying to come away. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, stop pressing, bring that knee closer towards your armpit. Just increasing the stretch on the outside of your glutes. Keep breathing, keep lifting the chest, and keep those sit bones grounded. And then come back to the centre position, release the foot, and shake out the legs. Come back to where you started with the sitting position, but if you usually have your right leg in front of you in the sitting position, change legs. Lift the chest, being equal on those sit bones again, lengthening through the crown of the head. Think of all that space around you. We tend to always be quite closed in on ourselves, but use the space. Feel the width in your shoulders, feel the hips widen, feel the space above your head. Let the crown of the head reach towards the ceiling. Open your collarbone, and then bring the elbows back towards the waist, keeping the heart towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, and slowly release it out. Breathing in and out of the nose. Take a deep breath in, and slowly exhale. And again, deep breath in, breathing wide into the rib cage, and exhale. Deep breath in, think about everything opening out with your breathing, and exhale. So with each breath, allow the shoulders to release. You're breathing more into the lower part of the rib cage rather than breathing into your chest. If you're not quite sure where you're breathing from, just place a hand on your chest and a hand on the lower abdominals, and breathe more into the lower hand than you do into the top hand. So the breath initiates from the lower part of your abdominals, from the lower belly, rather than from the top part of your chest. It just helps the neck relax and helps the muscles here release, so they're not actually taking over with the breath, but allowing the diaphragm to do the work. And that's quite a nice thing to practice during the day as well, when you get a few minutes to spare here and there, even when you're waiting for a kettle to boil, or you're in the car at the traffic lights, or you're getting a bit angry or frustrated about something. Just focus on the breath, being in your present moment, and it will really help calm you down, take more oxygen into the body. Thank you for joining me today. If you get time, you can repeat that routine later, not a problem. Take care and have fun, and I'll see you next time.